Yes.
You said sort of a magic word to me. That's hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of storm forces can this house withstand? Can it withstand a hurricane?
We've made several attempts to combat hurricanes because we know that there's so much deficit that came in the past. A few things that we've done, well, first of all, is our structure, which our structure is built of SIP panels. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with this product, but what the product is, and I think Jeff's going to pull up a picture, it's two 3/4-inch OSB boards filled with 5/8, filled with 5.5 inches of polystyrene foam. The walls are built of this product, and the ceiling is actually 8.5, or 8.5, okay. I just want to make sure before I gave the wrong number. So our whole house is built of these SIP panels except for the floor. But the really awesome thing about this product is not only are they well insulated, but they're able to withstand approximately 140-mile-an-hour winds. So this is another image right here of what our walls are made out of. So typical stick framing that you see whenever a house goes up, the only place where there's stick framing is at the joints between the two walls. There's two 2x6s. Other than that, the walls are just strictly made out of this. We have steel in the transitional porch where the doors rotate, and in a few other various areas. But for the most part, this is what our structure is made out of. In addition to the SIP panels for hurricane resistant, we also have hurricane resistant steel shutters. They're amazing. I was showing someone yesterday, and they just look tough. Not only are they tough, they just look so tough and intimidating. But so these shutters slide over the windows on a track, and so unlike a lot of homes, maybe even in your home, you'll have shutters that don't even fit over your windows, and you see people with shutters right on the side of their windows having to bore them up in a hurricane. Well, in the Beausoleil home, you just basically slide your steel shutters over your windows, and they protect the glass during the storm. So this is a digital rendering, but this is gives you a really good idea of the way that they function. You can see the track above, and they just slide over the windows. They fit them. Something that doesn't happen all the time. Also, our roof is made of standing seam metal. A lot of times around here you see it in a commercial application, and in the residential you'll see just the roofing.
Asphalt shingles.
Asphalt shingles. Sorry, my mind went blank there. So the application is obviously much more hurricane resistant. Over the transitional porch, that space right here, which we didn't mention before, but we also have a solar, it's called solar thermal or solar hot water system. It's aluminum fins that are sandwiched between two polyol panels, and that material is also extremely hurricane resistant. In fact, they test the material by shooting 2x4s at it at whatever the speed was. We can see in the video of it early on whenever we were choosing materials. But so that's this little section right here above the transitional porch. These doors, this bifold hanger door, has 2 layers of glass, and it's encased in its metal structure. It's also hurricane resistant. They have corrugated metal here. So a lot of the materials that we've used are hurricane resistant. And the structure, the roof, the shutters. Is there anything I'm forgetting?
I just mentioned the idea of a safe space within the house.
Yeah, I mean, the transitional porch early on was sort of conceived as the space where you could store your items in. And that's where we are now, that this bifold hanger door could come down, those doors could rotate, and that this would become your sort of safe zone where you can keep. And also the fact that this house, if you wanted to put it on the coast, or if you wanted to use it, in that sort of coastal application, that these piers can be interchanged with 10-foot piers, whatever height that you want to elevate the house above the ground, so that you wouldn't have to worry so much about flooding in that coastal zone. It's very flexible. Yes?
You mentioned the roof, the walls, so on and so forth. As I understand it, solar panels are expensive delicate. What keeps them being stripped off the roof?
That is a very good question. The solar panels themselves are fairly durable. They are attached to the roof via a rack, and the rack system is connected to the seams of the standing seam metal roof. And what we've come to understand about this rack system is that it's so strong that the winds are more likely to rip your roof off than it is to rip your solar panels off. So the issue of uplift is a concern to an extent, but not so much when you have this rack system that we're using on the Beausoleil home. Okay, you're welcome. Yes?
But if they're way down or high down, what keeps them from shattering it when it's 40 mile an hour winds?
Well, that is a concern. You know, I mean, if something comes flying at your solar panel, it could crack it. But they are very durable, and that's really an issue with you know, a lot of things that people are going to have to deal with in this area is the possibility that a tree could fall on your panels. If solar becomes pretty progressive in this area, people may treat their solar panels like they would a window, and they might start to later on begin to, instead of covering their windows, hopefully they'll have operable windows that protect them, and they might eventually start to protect their solar panels. That's just a thought that I have. I mean, I can't promise that that'll come, but you know, maybe eventually people will start to think, well, golly, I should protect my solar panels, you know, not just my windows. Just thought. Yeah.
When do you think this house will be on the market?
Well, we really can't predict that right now. Our focus is the competition, which is in October. But we do hope that when the house comes back and is used as research here on the campus, right there at UL, we do hope that we can begin to work with Louisiana System Built Homes, the company who produced the SIP panels for us. We're hoping that at that point we can begin to move that process forward, but we really can't put a time on it because our #1 goal right now is that competition. So it's hard. It's really hard to say. Yeah. Let me just get him up here because he has his hand up. Yes.
How much would this house approximately cost?
Also, that number is very flexible. I'll just tell you as an overall number goal, it varies between several things, and I'll tell you a little bit about what that cost includes. Typically in a cost estimate, you don't have the cost of furniture, dishes, your dining room table and chairs, you know, everything that we have in this house is included in that overall cost, and that's why I'm not able to give that number, because that number is flexible and a lot of those decisions are still being made. However, I will say that our goal in the reproduction, which, you know, obviously we can't put that timeline on, is that we have, via the HUD calculator, noted that the average median income in this area is approximately $50,000. And our house in reproduction, the goal is to have that house affordable at $120,000. So when the house goes into reproduction, that is our goal number. As far as a cost, right now, it's really hard to put that number on.
Just add one thing to that. Compared to the other decathlon homes, we're definitely one of the more affordable homes. The Germans last year who won the solar decathlon, it's not for sure, but the estimate is that they spent about $1 million on their home. And so from the beginning we knew we wanted to build something that was much more viable and affordable for the public. But like any competition, you have certain things that, as Kat was mentioning, that we have to do for this competition that wouldn't necessarily go into the production model. So there's going to be at least a year of development before the home could be produced, mass-produced, and some changes that would be made. But that's been our goal all along, and the fact that we work with a modular home manufacturer instead of building everything custom ourselves reflects that we're really thinking about market viability and affordability.